Hi
Boom.
guys. Hi Caio. Hi Mike.
Hi, Faris.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us.
Likewise.
Thank you.
So, are
I'm
you an
good.
iOS developer?
Oh, of course. I'm iOS developer. I'm Android. I'm Node.js backend engineer. Like I have different experience. I work in Amazon sometime. Like I have mine project. So like you need to manage things, Nick. You need to build backend. You need to host this your APIs. Like full stack developer as a mobile.
Yes.
And also I
Awesome.
work in company. Yeah. So we
Awesome.
have a team. We are growing right now. Like we are 6 engineers. We have Android engineers and we have iOS engineers as well as. Yeah, I'm leading this project right now, and we have different projects. Yeah, the projects right now we work on. Like it's being revamped for the third time. You imagine,
Okay.
like vendor is doing like this a project, like he's damaged the project, damage everything. They need to get the job done and they deliver the project, they get their money, and that's it. When you come the maintenance, it's difficult. Like massive losses, issues, like it's dumb. Yeah, yeah, you can't manage that.
Right. So how can we help you?
Okay, so I will start with my problem and with the community problem. As mentioned, the guys before, like they have problems. I see this a problem in everyone. Like it's like how to apply those principles and the trends, iOS trends, and best practices in a small team or Euro project. This is a challenge itself. For example, in my team, it's difficult to explain the things to the team, to get them engaged, to tell them how to do things, how to decouple the code, how to write dependency injection, how to design modular abstract feature, for example, how to compose the things. Like those principles are new for them. Like they're afraid to get to work in something like that. It's difficult. It sounds like they are trying to say we are happy, like everything is going well, like we have MVM and that's it. Like people are thinking the MVM it's architecture. Like if we hit the MVM, that's when we are done. And also I see the MVM, like it's not like a good way to implement the MVM. You know,
Okay.
now is I'm applying MVVM and that's it. But it's not like that. The architecture goes beyond that. So this is a problem. Like everyone, for me, for the people here, like people in our community, like they are trying facing problem. I can convince other how we can tell other to do the things, like how we can take decisions in the work. Yeah, that's a difficult problem. Like your
Yeah.
whole day, you start thinking the things. Oh, I need to do this. Or if what if happened if this changed something?
So
It's
you are the
difficult.
lead developer.
Difficult. Yeah, like you ended up overthinking, over engineering. You think
Okay.
Okay.
this
So
is
you
a
are the
problem,
lead developer, right?
right?
You are the lead developer,
Yeah, I'm the lead.
and you're having issues because the less experienced developers, they don't see the benefit of doing
See
things
the
better.
benefit. Like they don't have experience to do it, like to do things as I can write it. For example, like I can write dependency injection. For example, it's difficult to write for them or maintain the dependency injection, or flow coordinator, such as example. If you want to introduce something, it's difficult. You need to give them a lecture, sessions, explain the things, and review the work, request changes. Like you waste your time, investing. It's like you need academy, to teach everyone in the team.
Okay.
Yes.
So one thing is that training your team is not a waste of time.
wasting my time because I have tasks. Like at the end of the day, I'm responsible to deliver something. Like because we have different projects. Sometimes I work on this project. I work on that project. I'm a resource, like shifting between the projects. You know?
Yeah, but if you are the lead developer, you need to find the time to help them, right?
Yeah, and also
understand that because you are only one.
Yeah.
I think this is a common thing that happened with lead developers. We've sometimes become the bottleneck because we end up micromanaging our team. We need to review all the code. We need to help them make all the decisions, but we also have to do our own tasks in other points. And, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I don't want to micromanage them. Like, I want to give them a feeling like everything is doing is wrong. No, like I need to trust them. Like, you guys do whatever you like. Like, I'm trusting you. Like, this is our best architecture. What we can give. Like, and give you resources to read, something to do, something to practice. Like something I used before in a project, just use it. And also, like when you hire freelancers, such as example, and you need to explain them your architecture, they will run, they will kick out, they will not come back next time. Oh, it's happened with me. Like when I explain them, this is my architecture, so you need to work with me and help me in my project. So next day, they will say like, I don't have time to work on this project. So sorry.
Right.
It's difficult. Like you need yeah.
So they're saying the contractors find it hard to work with the architecture, so they don't come back?
Yeah. Like they don't come back, or they start asking for like high cost, and even they don't have the experience. And sometimes I need to sacrifice that with things. I don't no need to do that. Just very simple. Simplify the things as much as you can. But they don't do it the right way. So it's difficult. You feel like you are alone, like in this community.
Yeah, I mean,
this is, I don't know.
It is like that, It is like that.
Yeah, but we're not lucky. I don't know, like for the iOS engineers, we're not lucky. Like when you go to Node.js, like you see, like they have the concept of repo, they have modularity, everything is clean, it's customized, everything is nice. When you go to Google, like they are supporting their engineers. But for iOS, nothing is like there is no enough resources, materials from Apple, like to mentor the developers, like to direct them in the right way. And also, I see some mistakes or like issues in the platform itself in iOS. Like sometimes you ended up with limitation for the customization.
So yes, there is a huge difference in programming values depending on the community you go. Like when I was trying to learn TDD, Clean Architecture, and I don't know, Modularity, CI, CD, I had to go to other industries. I had to learn from Java, from C#, from Ruby. I had to learn from Node. I had to go to those communities to get those skills and then bring it to my team in iOS. And it was hard because then people were not ready to use those skills. So I had to help them, provide them the training as well. Remember in London, Mike, when we were working like 7 years ago, we would get training from Java developers.
Yes.
C#, we would study Ruby. Remember Sandy Mats, we would look for all those other people in other communities because we wanted to have those skills. We wanted the benefits of those solutions, and we couldn't find at the time in the iOS community. But nowadays, it's much better. There's a lot of good resources already. And if you can provide those resources to your permanent colleagues, right, the ones that work permanently, because I know it's hard to train contractors, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible. Not a lot of businesses would invest in contractors, but if you have your colleagues there, you should probably invest in their education if they're open for it, right? And you need to let them try on their own as well, right? So you need to give them clear guidelines, and they're gonna fail sometimes, and that's fine. They're gonna learn. they're going to learn from their failures. Because I remember when I became lead developer for the first time, I was trying to micromanaging and like reviewing every pull request and like blocking everything. And, like, there was not enough time in a day to do everything. So what I learned is that you need to let them try out the new ideas, and they're gonna fail, but they're gonna learn. Because I remember when I was learning, I was also failing. But when I become a lead, I didn't want my team to fail. But sometimes they need to fail a little bit. Just don't let them fail like catastrophically. Help them, give them some leeway to try. I remember when I started working with Mike like 7 years ago, he was not very comfortable with reactive coding, right? He was very comfortable with object-oriented, but we were working on a reactive code base. And I didn't have time to be micromanaging and teaching him like reactive. So I would give him clear guidelines. Okay, you need to implement this feature. And the guideline is that you cannot capture self within the subscribers.
Right.
And Mike's like, how am I going to do that? Well, I don't know. Figure out, because he had a clear guidelines on how to use the framework. He now would find a way to do it, and he would fail sometimes. I would help him with some pull requests, and he learned. Because the developers, they will learn. They will be resourceful, and they're going to find the solutions if you give them clear guidelines. Like, for example, this feature we need to implement, but we need to decouple the implementation from the database, because right now we're going to be using an in-memory database, but in the future it's going to be persisted. So we're going to at some point replace with core data. It's just that we want to ship this very quickly. So right now we're going to implement like an in-memory database, but we're going to replace it in the future. So the guideline is that you need to decouple it from the database. And it's like, how am I going to do it? Well, figure it out. And they're going to figure out. They're going to do the research because they have a clear guideline of what they need to do. But you don't need to give them precisely the answer in every line of code, and they will figure it out.
We did actually. I did like when I like for daily meetings for the team. Like I tell them like my goal, like my thoughts about this feature, like how to build the things. But I don't have like a written guideline for them.
Right.
Yeah, like I give them like things verbally, like not by written. And the document, like it's like documentation, because nobody will read, nobody will follow.
So for me, let me first express that I fully understand your frustration. It's like no, seriously.
Yeah.
Ultimately, however, and I think like this is a hard thing to say in here as well. It's like it's our responsibility. It's like the leader's responsibility. So they don't understand. They done this. They done that. Like it doesn't matter, and it will be even best to stop using they, whatever. Right. So now the problem becomes, how can I communicate better? Because clearly they do not understand. Like you said, this is the third revamp of the application. Maybe if you
No. Yeah, this is the third revamp, but this is a new team, like a new hire team. But the third revamp by 3 companies before.
By 3 okay.
3 companies.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's like the money kept flowing.
Every 2 years we revamp. Every 2 years we revamp.
So,
and cost.
Yeah. So it's I understand. It's up to us to figure out some way, and this is like is part of leading. Actually, it's you need to find a way to make them understand. And if they don't understand, they don't understand. Maybe you have to switch a team. It's like, but at the end of the day, and I'm not saying like you should do that, like that's your first option. But things need to keep moving. And clearly you just can't redo things all the time, and micromanage everyone and, you know, being everywhere all the time.
I tried.
I do agree with you, but see, like, for example, I went to like community, essentially community. Like, I took my time, practice everything, like a month to get like that experience. Like, it's difficult to transfer that experience for someone.
It is very, yeah, it is very hard. Like, Faris, I'll give you examples from my life, you know, and I would just spend literally time, you know, of course not like business hours, you know, like separately, weekends and stuff, trying to make people understand what they need to do, you know, because that was me, you know, that was extremely important for me to do that, you know, for the goal I had at that time, you know. And that's one example. I would sacrifice my own time, you know, my own resources to do that, you know. But there is no other way. At the end of the day, there is no other way. What will exist is frustration and blame, and these are not good traits to have, like, as a leader. So this is how I see it. And, you know, it's like, when you understand that, do you want frustration and blame in your team, in your life overall? It's like, no. Okay, done. So first of all, we're not going to have frustration and blame. Well, frustration maybe, but blame definitely not, you know.
No, I'm not saying like someone like you are not doing this things. What I'm telling you, like, I mean, like, it's difficult for them to understand the things. Like, for example, I took like weeks or months to learn something. Like, it's difficult for me to tell him do this, you know. Like, he will not gonna do that. Like,
Right.
he need to spend again time to read, prepare, search to do that. That's what I meant, like, by like, they will not do it.
But you
You
have
know?
no control over what they do, right? You took the time to build the skills, and you cannot make them build the skills if they're not going to put the time.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have control over that.
Yeah.
So there's one thing they say in management school, like Jim Rohn says, don't send your ducks to eagle school because they don't want it. Like, they're not going to be eagles. The point is that you cannot control what other people do. This is a source of frustration that we have in your life. Like, you cannot control what other people do, because they spend their time with, right?
No, I can't control them. Like, they are helpful. Like, they are willing to work. They are willing to learn. But like, the main issue, like, it's difficult to transfer the knowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a skill you need to develop as well. Just like you develop the skill of building the application, you need to develop the skill of now teaching, right? We all go through this. Because, like, what makes you good at something doesn't mean you can teach it. I know this, for example, when I was learning guitar, everyone wanted to learn from the top guitar players. But it doesn't mean they are good teachers. They are amazing guitar players. Doesn't mean they're good teachers, right? Yeah. The ones that take time to become good teachers are good teachers. So you are now in a place where I've been before, where Mike been before, where we build the skills and we get frustrated because other people don't get it. And then you realize that to be a leader, to be a tech lead, to be a person that has a huge impact in a business, you need to be able to transfer those skills. You need to be able to motivate people, to inspire them, to be a role model.
Yeah.
Like, take this example. Like, my friend, he called me like last week. He said, like, hey, Faris, I need your help. Like, we have a new project, so I need to put a standard for the new team. I told him, okay, come, I will show you. Like, I start like explaining him like the architecture, design pattern, dependency injection, the things like we learned in the community. So I felt like he's like did not get it well. So he said, oh, I need to prepare. So I can't tell them like to do that. I can't force them because I need to answer them, because I'm sure like they will ask me how to do this, or they will ask more questions. So I can't answer them. My friend says, like, he said, I need to review the things like I need to invest in my time because I don't have those knowledge or those skills like to convince the team to apply those principles or those trends or those standards.
But if you don't take the time, if you don't find the time, it's going to come back to you, right? Because you're also working in the code base.
Right.
Yeah.
If they're making a mess, you're going to have to deal with the mess.
Yeah.
So how did you learn? You take courses, you read books, you practice. Can you provide them the courses and the books, the same path you took?
Yeah, we do. I will do.
That's what you
But
got to do.
for my friend, I did him like I give him everything, like about 10 GB, like my resources, everything, videos. But he did not read about it, so he came to me. He start asking. That's a problem. Like nobody find the time to read. Like everyone like have responsibility, family, life. It's difficult. Like if they don't want this,
Took the time.
like
People, they will
they
take
will
the
not
time. People take
They
the
will.
time.
Yeah, there are some people that are willing to learn, but there are some people like they will say like we don't have time to learn. This is simple.
Yeah.
Like we are too much busy. Like we are working 9, 12 hours a day, and we have family, we have a kid. Like this is main problem.
That's it. Need to find the time.
Yeah.
They need to find the time to practice, to the motivation. And if the problem is that you don't have time to teach them, you need to find the time.
Yeah, got it. So yeah, got it. Kind of got it.
Yeah, and maybe.
But like another like way, like they don't have to follow the path that I followed. Like I took a long path to get this point. Like again, like to read my books, to subscribe to the academy. So they don't have to, isn't it? Like I can give them like small things.
Absolutely. If they work with you, you can teach them. And that's the biggest shortcut you can have in life, is to learn from someone that know and have the skills that you want.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't see it as an opportunity. Make them see it as an opportunity. As Mike said, instead of saying they are not taking the time or they don't care about this, maybe you need to think like, how can I make them be more interested in learning from me? How can I be more approachable so they are more open to learning from me, or something like that?
Like if someone doesn't understand why they need to do something, they won't do it. It's plain simple. So if you say, for example, oh no, you need to learn the dependency inversion principle because we're going to have like modularity in our code base. Like if someone doesn't care about modularity in the code base, like what?
Yeah, this is the main issue. Like, why I'm gonna do with this? Why? We are fine. Like, we can do like just.
Exactly. I mean, this is also why we're trying to teach you guys. Like, hey, it's not the technical part only. It's like it's the career part that you need to think about. Like, as Caio says in the podcast, start thinking that you work for yourself. It doesn't matter if you are employed by someone else. It's like it's you earn that money, and it's for you, right? You need to believe in that, right? And you need to like evolve around this idea, like truly believe to that. So yeah, find what they want. Find what they want and what motivates them, and communicate the intent. This is very hard, but this is ultimately what a good leader is going to do.
Yeah, problem. And also like this time it's difficult because the team works remotely. It's like an issue. Like for me, I like to draw on white paper, or like to stand and talk to them like face to face. Like I
Right.
don't like to work remotely. No.
Well, but it's what we can do right now. So
Yeah, it's difficult. It's such
to
a
the like we're doing right now, where we're talking here.
yeah.
Just we pass the lectures remotely as well to you. So
Yeah.
we have a good mentoring about leadership. Which one was it, Mike? The number mentoring was with Nicholas.
Maybe 10, but I'm not sure. It's with Nicholas Landa. Yeah, so you can check it out, Nicholas Landa.
Yeah, because even remotely you can pair. You can pair with. We work like Mike and I. We work all the time pairing remotely.
Yeah.
You know, he lives in Greece. I live in the UK.
Yeah.
We pair. We share screen.
Yeah.
We eat.
Yeah, I'm planning like to introduce pair programming our team. I do agree it's helpful. Like I read your book, it's helpful, really helpful, and I heard people are recommending about it.
Absolutely. Anyone here in the chat recommends pairing? Yeah, look at that. Pair programming, pairing. That may be the solution for it.
Okay, last question. Like we are against the the modularity. This is a question against the modularity. Like some engineers or some like people that are talking Google, such as like Google engineers, like they are recommending to do not adapt like the modularity to make things complicated, to make the code abstract if you have a small team. Like such as Google or Facebook, like they have 100 of engineers. Like they can invest their time, they have money, they have cost, they have budget, they can increase, and they can like achieve the modularity of their applications. Like the problem for us, like as a small team, it will be like challenge, like where, like I see, like in projects that I worked as a modular, like you spent a lot of time, like debugging issues related to the modular design or this feature. Like it's not like you're working in the UI, like you're focusing on the architecture itself, like how to fix the things, you know?
Right. So this goes back to the principle that we said in the first session today. Yagni, you ain't gonna need it, right? You need to design your architecture for your needs, not for the sake of architecture, right? Because yes, you can go and make an application that is extremely decoupled, extremely modular, but you don't need that kind of modularity in that specific project, right? So it's a tool and you need to use it when it makes sense. Like in the project, we make it modular as we progress, but we show solutions that are much, much simpler, you know? And then we show like very, very modular solutions with adapters, with like MVP and so on in the UI layer, right? But
but when you come difficult, like when you come to a real problem, it's difficult to adopt like a design pattern or this solution. It's difficult. The reality is different.
Yeah, when in doubt, choose the simpler solution. That's probably
for sure.
my advice.
Yeah, so I think like this skill, everyone should have it, like decision. Like you should be very careful to take the decision, like to adapt something in your project, like some design pattern or some anything it could be, like in your project, because that decision will like affect you in the future. So might will affect the project, so it's difficult to change that because the project is relying on that, you know?
Yeah, you need to find balance, right? Depending on the project you're working, the budget, the time, the team, the skills in the team. You need to, as a lead, you need to put all of these together to make decisions, right? And that's the hard part. And that's why being a leader is so valuable to businesses. That's why you make more money than a junior developer. Because you need to deal with
it's really difficult. You need to squeeze your mind like 100 times every day to get like the right decision, and you need to search to find like optimal solution.
And many times there's no perfect solution. Like most,
Like at least like fit your problem, like such as for example for me, like I have like rearrange problem in my project, like when you arrange like the things in table view. So I tried to find the solution like for that problem. Like I ended up with like a linked list, because the linked list, like you can swipe the items in less time and less cost, less efficiency. Like this linked list, it's better than array. Like you're shifting all elements because the elements are stored in the backend server. So this is just an example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it.
Awesome. So that's it. It's hard to be a lead developer, and that's why you get paid more as well.
It's difficult. It's not easy. Like
Absolutely.
you have many responsibilities, and not only like just writing code. You have many responsibilities.
Yeah, we know many developers, lead developers, that they write like code in 25% of their time. The rest is like making more high-level decisions, understanding more the roadmap and coaching, pairing.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So at the end, like you recommend like to write a clear guideline for our team, like to follow at least, and give them resources and mentor them, pair programming, apply those principles, so they will help.
Yes, communication.
Yeah,
is the number one.
absolutely, exactly. Yes, find the intent and communicate that.
And find the developers that are open for education, that they are eager to learn, and give them everything they need, because those are the ones that are going to become the seniors that will help you coach the other developers, because you need to build leaders. Like if you're a lead developer, one of your jobs is to build the next leaders, because then you can scale your skills. Because if you're the only one in the team that have the skills, you cannot even use it.
I would love like to share my knowledge from university. Like I love to share my knowledge to my colleagues. For me, I love to share the knowledge to everyone.
Awesome. So find the developers that want to learn, they are eager to learn, and help them grow, make the next leaders.
Once we have the right time, I will find, because like the things like when you have requirements and like the business, like users, they need to see something. They don't want to see the architecture or what you did, guys. Those principles. They want to see an application. So that's why we on Rush.
They want to see an application on time and on budget.
Exactly.
That's what the business needs. Now it's your job to help the team deliver it. And one of those things is to have a nice design, a nice architecture, some tests that will help you be efficient now and in the long run.
Yeah, I do agree.
Make sense?
Awesome.
Makes sense.
Awesome. So that's it. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. It was really, really nice to talk. And thank you, guys, in the chat. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Faris.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.